Alright everybody, once again, Steve and I have spent a lot of time on the internet finding new bands to tell everyone about. We've recently, Steve recently came across a band apparently from, I believe, the Chicago scene.
Yeah.
Named Irreversible, I think. Something like Irreversible.
Yeah.
And we found a track of them off of Soulseek, a tune by the name of The Boil. And from what I know, is this early 80s stuff, or?
Yeah, this is, it was early 80s. It actually went underground, I guess. It must have been lost. It's very hard to find anything from them. But it's good music. I
don't really, I mean, I like what you've shown me. I'm not too sure as to, like, it's weird, because it has, like, it has its own, like, the early new wave of British metal type of edge to it, and it's also got like a skateboardy thrash edge to it. It's kind of bizarre. So I don't know like who I would compare it to. I'd say like Venom, or like a skater band like the Cro-Mags. And it's part of that Chicago death metal-y kind of I wouldn't really consider it death metal, but metal scene. How do you feel about that? It
sounds like that he was going to do that with the vocals, but
I don't know. Then he does. It's weird because he'll go from the low, really guttural thing. I don't know if there's a background singer if that's both him.
Yeah.
And then he has that weird high impish thing that's very European type of metal.
Kind of Cradle of Filth.
Cradle of Filthy type of thing. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, do you know anything about them as people? Like, I didn't have time to research it. I don't know if you got a chance to look into it, but
I did get a fair amount of information. Bio, I guess. The vocalist is in and out of rehab. He's, of course, the major kind of druggie.
Right. As singers tend to be.
Singers do tend to be. I guess he's attempted suicide several times, unsuccessfully. Hence the band's name, actually, Irreversible. What he's attempting to get across, that irreversible state.
Right.
The drummer didn't seem too keen to on him, actually. It's kind of like Josh Silver and Peter Steele. They always fight a fair amount. But I guess he was actually in rehab for a bit, but left the second week after injecting himself with something unkosher. Yeah.
Bands.
The guitarists, actually, the dual guitarists, very in sync, which makes sense because they are in fact twins.
I know, you had told me that over the telephone. I was like, that's pretty weird, because I have a friend who's in a band, and their brother, the bass player, and the drummer are really tight, and they're identical twins. Are they identical twins, or?
From what I hear, I haven't actually seen a photo of the group.
I'm guessing from the sound of the band, they're pretty burly.
Yeah.
Probably have a lot of tattoos, kind of scummy.
All except for the drummer, actually.
Yeah.
He's got this really, really long ZZ Top beard with suit catcher. Actually fits perfectly.
Fantastic.
But, he's actually a scrawny.
How old are they?
From what I hear, it ranged from like, I don't know, it was just at their 20s to again.
So they're like in their 40s and 50s now.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what this would look like as a reunion tour. Are they all alive?
From what I hear, the drummer actually, I'm not sure if he's still alive. I don't know. If he actually reached his irreversible state before the singer did.
So you want to play the track that we have?
Yeah.
And we'll comment as it goes. It's pretty heavy stuff. I mean, 83, I think you said, is when this came out.
And this was off the album Fire Projectile, actually.
All right, here we go. It has that kind of poor recording quality of the early 80s to it.
Yeah, that's probably the guy.
That right there is like a biohazard, like that slow aggro breakdown. Vocals are sick. That slow, plodding, early 80s metal drum beat.
Very methodical.
There's a lot of reverb on this recording.
All I know. Definitely 80s right there. That's
Look at that thrash. like the vomity vocals. Those are so awesome. And the singer's singing over the guitar solo. Like they don't even care what's going on. That's a sketchy solo. That solo wasn't really good.
Maybe that's why he's singing over it.
That might be. I think he just realized that there was a guitar solo going on now. I didn't realize that fans from the U.S. that early had such a European influence, you know?
I don't know, maybe a couple of the guys from the band were, I don't know. They might have been. They might have come over to Europe. But it's so unique that singing over the...
Yeah. Well, you said they're a pretty volatile band.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, you know, I mean... Hell, I mean... Probably at the time that was pretty fierce.
Yeah.
You said there was also, they were in bands... They were like a different band before this. They were a punk band or something, like a 3-chord punk band.
Yeah.
What was that all about?
3-chord punk band. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I think it was something like The Knockers.
The Knockers. I think I'd heard of the, or something like Knockers.
Sure.
That does ring a bell. But that's more like, yeah, that must be like the, that sounds more punk oriented.
Yeah.
So, the Knockers. I don't know. I don't really know much about them. The next episode that we do, I'll pick the band, and I'll find a band, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to be burdened with having to search for so much. I mean, we're both equally guilty for Permafrost. That was, you know, that was a horrible find. Although I've been listening to that, and I give Permafrost kind of a thumb in the middle. Not up, not down. But I dig this. I do. I do. I give a thumbs up. Absolutely. For this song and this band. And do you as well?
Yeah, it's definitely. It's a good track. I mean, probably not the best, especially not mechanically.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, well, I'm sure they're pretty loaded. They don't really know what's up and down at the time.
Yeah.
So, that ends episode 2 of Newly Discovered. And the song was The Boil by...
Irreversible.
Yeah, Irreversible. See, I've already forgotten their band name. Alright, so that's over and out. And have a good one. Wait for the next episode.